Hey, I'm Nina, the resident yoga instructor for BookYogaRetreats. This is one in a series of yoga videos specifically designed for beginners, and they follow a series of themes that are very fundamental to yoga, but also really useful if you're traveling. And this sequence is for jet lag. So it's particularly good if you've just spent some time in a really long flight, or you're finding that you're in a part of the world where your sleep pattern is really disrupted. So this sequence is for absolute beginners, and it is going to follow a few postures that are very calming for the nervous system, particularly the last two. We also have some really critical inversions, some hip and shoulder openers. So that'll be really nice after the flight. Make sure that in order to do the sequence you've got a yoga mat or a soft or a towel if you don't have with you, 2 blocks, a cushion, or if you do have a yoga bolster, and if you'd like, also a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, a tie or a really thick ribbon is also totally suitable. So have those lined up next to you, next to your mat, and come to stand at the front of your mat. Place your feet together and look down towards your feet. Spread your toes. Make sure that the weight of the body is evenly balanced over your feet. Gently start to focus now on your posture, rolling the shoulders back and down, opening through the solar plexus, lengthening through the spine. Feel as though somebody is gently putting you up towards the ceiling of sky from the top of your head through an invisible piece of strength. And that allows you to relax the shoulders. Arms on either side of the body. Toes are spread. Gently push the pelvic floor forward and engage the glutes. And as we stand here at the start of our practice, take a moment to connect with your breath, observing the breath, and calming the mind. Feel as though, as you stand here, you're grounding yourself. You're landing, coming into contact with the earth beneath you, where you are in the world right now. Let your breath be your guide and your tool to land, to ground. You are here, you are safe, you are stable. Let your breath also be a way in which you can set an intention at the start of your practice. An intention to keep mindful of the breath throughout. And now gently start to lengthen the breath, feeling as though you expand the lungs ever more, breathing in oxygen and life, revitalizing through the breath. Go in your own rhythm, trying to expand through the inhalation, decompress and relax through the exhalation, and try to make that exhalation a little bit longer than the inhalation, and try to make each round of the breath a little bit longer than the one before. As the mind becomes steady and focused, I invite you now on your next inhalation to reach up with the hands. Look up towards your hands, open your chest. And we're going to begin with a few what are called sun breaths. So on the exhalation, open the chest, open the arms, and let the body tilt forwards. Allow the knees to bend and relax the head like a rag doll. And then inhale and come back up again, spreading the arms, reaching into the fingertips, looking up towards your hands, and exhaling. Look down towards the fingertips. We'll do this 5 times with the breath. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, stretch. Relax the head, bend the knees, be kind to the body. Inhale and come up. Awakening. Stretching. Exhale. Inhale, reach up for your 3rd time. Exhale, stretch out. Bend the knees, soften the neck, soften the head. Inhale and come up again. Palms together. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Start to feel the body warming up. Try to feel the spine warming up. Exhale, soften the neck. Inhale and come up again. Palms together. Exhale. And our last full round here for some breaths. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Soften the neck. Stay here for a moment. Hold on to the elbows. Open the feet out so that they're hip width apart. Keep the knees bent and hang here. So you want to gently coax the hips, the hands and the lower back into some normality again after your long flight or your long train or bus journey. Relax your face, relax your neck, and you can sway from side to side here, gently opening up into the hips. Use the weight of the body and the weight of the head to soften and relax along the vertebra and the spine. And as the knees are bent here, inhale, look forwards and reach for your block. Place it between the feet. From here, place your hands on either side of the feet, keeping the knees bent. Spread your fingers and gently step back 1 foot at a time, coming into your first down dog. So keep the knees slightly bent and see how far the block is from your head. If it looks like it's really far away, inhale, lift up your strong arm and take a moment to adjust it so it's closer towards your face. So everybody will be different. Take that moment to adjust. And then gently place your forehead on the block. So feel that calming effect for the nervous system with that gentle pressure on the third eye, the place between the brows, as you gently push your forehead onto the block. It also enables you to relax more around the shoulders, so you have an extra point of strength. Lift the weight up into the hips, tilt the hips up towards the ceiling, and if you need to, keep the knees bent here. No problem at all to keep them bent. Focus more on straightening into the spine. Spread the fingers. And we're going to hold it here for 3 more deep, full breaths. With each inhalation, bring strength into the body. And on your exhalation, the body relaxes naturally, so you want to harness that. And 1 more deep, full breath. And exhale. Inhale, look forwards. Lift the head up, move the block out of the way, and gently bring the weight forward, coming into a plank. Take your time here to gently lower the body. If you need to, use your knees. Flatten the body to the floor. From here, move your hands on the outside of your mat. Make your fingers into like a pincer shape, placing your fingertips on the floor on either side of your mat. On the next inhalation, lift the body up. Make the neck nice and soft and exhale and lower. So this is a variation on the cobra, and it's a lovely way to warm into the spine and back after a long period of sitting or even exertion. And now I want you, and I encourage you, to use your breath and your intuition to start to move into this dynamic cobra, engaging into some self-massage. So exhale down, inhale and lift. And you see how I'm moving my shoulders and elbows in a way that is led by my intuition as to what parts of the back and shoulders are feeling really stiff. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Use your breath and work into those places where there's stasis, where there's discomfort, gently opening up the spine. So we don't want too many rigid postures here after all of that rigidity and the stillness and the stasis of the long journey. So we'll do 2 more deep full breaths here. Inhale, lifting up to a point that works for you. Exhale, lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. And then from here, bring your hands in front of you, placing your elbows underneath your shoulders and spreading your fingers. Make sure that the elbows, the wrists and the shoulders are all in a lovely straight long line. Spread your toes and push the tops of the feet into the floor. Roll the shoulders back, push your pelvis into the floor and open up the chest. Open up the chin and then look forward towards the tip of your nose. This is called the Sphinx posture. And it's particularly good for working into the upper middle part of the spine. which is the place in most people's bodies that is the stiffest, and it's the place that suffers the most from long periods of sitting, reading, and working at a computer. So push your fingers, push your wrists, your palms, your elbows, your hips, your feet into the floor, and give and allow for that to be traction to roll the shoulders back and work into the upper middle part of the back. Deep, full, rhythmical breathing. And then on the next deep, big inhalation, work even more deeply into the posture, and then exhale and release. And then from here, you're going to take your right elbow, placing it underneath the right shoulder, and bring the right hand to face towards the left. You're going to twist the body on the inhalation to look towards the left, lifting up the left foot. Grab onto the left foot, inhale, open the chest, and on the exhalation, push the left heel towards the outside of the left hip. So take caution with the knees if you've had previous knee discomfort or injury. Left elbow is lifted and you're gazing towards that elbow. Lovely way to get into into a lateral stretch here, and also working into the hip. Deep full breath. Exhale and release. Another deep full breath. Exhale. Release that leg, and then we'll swap over to the other side. Inhale, opening the chest, looking towards the right foot now, grabbing onto the right foot, lifting up the right elbow. Exhale, push that heel down on the outside of the body and twist. Open the chest as much as you can. Keep the gaze steady. This is also very good for stimulating the colon and the peristalsis in the large intestine. And then exhale and release. From there, push your hands into the mat underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift the body up enough to slide the bum backwards, drawing the weight backwards and picking up your bolster or your cushion. Opening up your chest and moving that cushion in underneath the body. And then exhale, lower the body, bringing your chin, or if you want, your forehead onto the cushion or the bolster. Coming into a supported child pose. This is very, very calming for the nervous system, very good for people who battle with insomnia or sleep irregularity. And when you're in the pose, you want to feel that contact between the forehead and your cushion or your bolster. And this pose is so calming and lovely for the spine and this nervous system that you can stay in it for longer than we do in our sequence here today. So when you do this in your own time, if you need to do that, then go right ahead. Remember to gently push your hips away and lengthen through the top of the head. On the next inhalation, lift the head up, move the bolster out of the way. Place your hands on the mat in front of you. Come up into a tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. 2 cat-cow breaths. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Looking in towards the belly button, rounding. Deep, long exhalation, tuck the toes under. Weight goes back into the bum, and then inhale and lift up into your down dog. This time without a block, spreading your fingers, trying to straighten the back legs if you can. Working your knees backwards, tilting the hips. Deep, full breath here. Exhale. On the next inhalation, lift up your right leg and kick it back and behind you, nice and straight. So make sure that you don't compromise the way in which the hips are orientated towards your mat. So don't open the right hip. Reach up and back and behind you with a straight leg if possible. Relax around the face. Enjoy the inversion. Another deep full breath. On the next inhalation, look forwards. Bend that leg and hug it in towards you as you transfer it forwards between your hands. Do that in 2 movements if you need to, supporting the back of the leg with the hand. Open up the chest and then inhale and bring the arms up, coming into a cactus arm balance, so a variation on the high lunge, which is again very good for the shoulders. Push the elbows away from you, open the chest. Deep full breathing. Another deep full breath. Make sure your back heel is pushing away and you're lifting up the back leg. On the next exhalation, you're going to gently twist towards the side and reach up with your arms on the inhalation. We'll hold it for another breath. So you're facing towards the left side. Inhale, make sure the back knee is strong, and exhale. Inhale back towards the center, reach up with the hands, and exhale, place the hands on either side of the front foot. Step back with that right foot. Lift the bum up, exhale. Heels to the mat. Inhale, lift up with the left leg. Kick into the ball of the foot of the left foot. Check that your hips are facing the mat. Check that your shoulders are strong and that they're not moving in a way that is irregular. So stabilize them. Push the floor away. Another deep full breath. On the next inhalation, bend the knee. Hug that leg in towards you as you transfer forward, placing it between the hands, using 2 movements if you need to. Inhalation, lift up, coming into the high lunge with bent elbows. Variation with the cactus arms. Back heel is nice and strong, knee is lifted. Spreading the fingers. Another deep full breath here. Exhale, inhale. And on the exhalation, you're going to twist towards the side, opening the arms out, opening the chest. Back knee is strong. Another deep full breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms. And step back. Down dog, 1 deep full breath. Exhale. And on the inhalation, look forward and walk your feet forward. Bending the knees, bringing your feet towards the front of the mat. Make sure the feet are hip width apart. From here, you can pick up your rope or your yoga strap. So if you can reach your toes with straight legs, then go ahead, you will need your strap. For everybody else, place the strap underneath the ball of the foot. Grab onto the strap, get a nice firm grip on either side. Bring the weight into the balls of the feet, right forwards, tilting the hips up. And then on the exhalation, bend the elbows out, making space to breathe in the chest and using the weight and the softness of the head and the neck to create a sense of traction and release along the spine. This inversion is very good for the nervous system. Also very detoxifying. So enjoy the posture. Keep pushing the hips up towards the ceiling as if you wanted to push the hips away from each other. So if you wanted to rise out from the skeletal structure, outwards, out of the body, stretching deeply. Head is relaxed, elbows are pointing outwards. Close your eyes here if you can. Connecting with the inversion. Another deep full breath. And then release your hands, bringing the strap out. Inhale, look forwards, and gently come up with a straight back, hands to chest. Stop here. Push the bum backwards, elbows in close towards the body, straighten the spine, lift forwards. Inhale and come up. And then exhale and immediately start coming into your squat. Moving softly with the breath. Bend your knees and make sure now from this point here and where you start to feel the resistance in the hips, that the weight is going back into the heels and you're supporting your lower back by rolling the pelvic floor up and under. Open the chest, elbows out. And now gently start to lower as much as you can. If your hips are tight, you're going to pick up your blocks and use them to support you to get down. For those of you who feeling comfortable, you can lift up the back heels enough to come into a balancing squat. Look down towards your fingertips. Take a moment here. Connect. Grounding down, lifting up through the top of the head. Another deep full breath. And then as you exhale, move the weight back into the heels, reaching forwards, gently bringing your bum to the floor. From here, bring your feet forwards, arms on either side of the body. And we're going to go into a shoulder stand. So you want to gently roll backwards, placing your back flat onto the floor, and then releasing the legs. So take caution with the shoulder stand if you've had previous neck trouble, and just stop at the early stages as I explain them. When you're ready, inhale and lift the legs up. Flatten the feet towards the floor and engage your legs. When you're ready, inhale, start to lift the body up just enough to bring your hands to support the lower part of the back. So just above, around where the coccyx is. And so if you're worried about your neck or have a very stiff upper back and shoulders, this is where you would stop. This would be the first stage. And this is completely safe. Anybody can do this right from the beginning. If it's too much to lift up the hips, you can also slide a block or a cushion underneath your bum here to support you. If you'd like to go further and you're feeling good, inhale and start to walk your hands up the back. As you do that, straightening the legs, straightening the body, enough to have the elbows and upper arms supporting you on the floor. Gently walk the hands up the back, bringing the elbows into nice and close. Kick through the balls of the feet. Relax your jaw to relax the neck, so you can support yourself in this posture by using the shoulder anatomy. Deep full breathing, relax. This inversion is incredibly detoxifying. It's also rebooting the circulatory system. Holding for another deep full breath. And then exhale and slowly coming out the way you went in. Lowering the hips, coming out vertebra by vertebra. Moving very slowly and carefully. Straightening the legs again. And lowering them towards the mat. From here we can go into our very last posture. Inhale, lift the chest just enough. We're going to do a posture that reverses the extreme stretch that we just did there. So bring the bolster or cushion behind your back. Lift up enough to bring your blocks to either side of you. Bring your feet together. Place the blocks underneath your thighs and then exhale and gently relax back onto the bolster. Open up the chest. Let the head fall backwards so you're counteracting the shoulder stand. Open up the chest and feel the rhythmical breathing, the monotonous inhalation and exhalation. You can place your hands on either side of the hips or on the floor with the palms facing upwards. And you can stay here and close your eyes. It's a fully supported posture, it's a restorative posture, very calming and cooling. And you can stay here for as long as you need, up to 15 minutes. If you feel that your groins get tired and sore, you can place more blocks or cushions or towels underneath the thighs as well, so that they don't get sore and you feel totally comfortable. This is the reclining bound ankle pose. And I encourage you to stay in the posture for longer, focusing on your breath, observing that inhalation and exhalation as it falls naturally, and allowing yourself to land, allowing yourself to be present. When you're ready to come out of the posture, gently lift up again, moving the blocks out of the way. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. Namaste.